don't really tell people anymore that I'm a virtual assistant. I try to use the term that I'm a support for small business owners and coaches. I try to tell people that I support them in setting up their Facebook accounts, their Twitter accounts, LinkedIn accounts, that I help them optimize for their blogs and their WordPress sites, because not all coaches blog. And so I try to explain to them that even though they don't blog, they still need a WordPress site because they're more SEO friendly. I think that you could do this without training, but I received my training through VA Classroom. VA Classroom is probably the premier training site for virtual assistants who want to break into the field, whether it's social media, internet marketing, whatever it is. I think that there should be some form of standards, and I think that VA Classroom has standardized the training throughout. I've been through other classes through Duct Tape Marketing and a few other social media experts, but I think that the best training that I got for being a virtual assistant to assist a coach or a small business owner was probably through the VA Classroom. Usually when people ask that, because that's usually one of the questions that they ask when they first meet you, is how can you help them with their marketing efforts? And normally what I try to do is I don't really tell them, well, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. What I say is that I can assist you in getting your products and services out to a broader range of people. A lot of coaches, small business owners, they don't really think about having their marketing online completely, and so they only do it half, and then they think, well, it's not my niche and it's not something that I want to do. But they're not hitting their target market. They're missing something in their marketing, and so I try to go back through all their stuff, and I look and I say, okay, is their blog optimized? Do they have the right keywords? A lot of times in the Facebook fan pages, people aren't optimizing their fan pages correctly. They don't have the right stuff in where it should be. They don't have the right fans. A lot of times on Twitter, people add you, and so you just add them because you want to be following. Well, you need to make sure that your following is targeted. You need to make sure that you are following the right people as well. A lot of times on LinkedIn, their profiles aren't complete. Maybe they're not connected to the right people. Maybe in there as well, the keywords aren't optimized. And so those are the things that we try to look at. And so when you are targeting the right people, your marketing is going to be more complete, and you're going to be more satisfied with your online social media experiences. And so I try to tell people, also when you're doing your newsletter, you need to make sure that those are optimized as well. People don't really think about it, but the email marketing newsletters that people send out are a great source of getting other people to look at your stuff. Because not only do you send it out to people on your list, but you can also tweet that. You can Facebook it. A lot of times people who aren't on your list, they'll look at it and then they'll opt into your list, and that'll get you a bigger list building as well. I usually get started working with people. I generally try to start with the email conversation, going back a little bit at first to kind of see exactly what they're looking for. And then if that goes well, then we work to the phone. Because I think that once you have them on the phone, then they're ready for what you have to offer. And so I try to make sure that we're a perfect match. I try to make sure that they're my ideal client and I'm their ideal VA. Because a lot of times, just because you're a VA and you can do everything doesn't mean that you're the perfect VA for all the clients. And so I try to look for certain things that I look for in a client and make sure they have. How long have they been in business? What type of market are they looking at? Would their products and services be well matched for my skills? Are they looking for as often as I do things? A lot of people, when you tell them that you are on a schedule and you do certain things different at different times of the week, they're like, no, I don't like it like that. And so if you can't come to a middle ground, then I need to send you to another VA. And that's possible. I mean, I have other colleagues that I could send a coach to, and maybe they're a better match. Just because they're not my ideal client doesn't mean that they're not a good match for somebody else. And so if the conversation goes well, then I send them to do my online assessment. And it just kind of lets me know where they're at as far as their social media experience, what they've done, what they haven't done, the networks that they already belong to, maybe ones that I'm thinking that they should belong to that they haven't, so I can kind of see and gauge where they're at in their networking skills. It also helps me build a plan of action, because I think that with any marketing plan, social media, you have to have a plan of action. I think that if you don't have that plan of action written, and not necessarily in stone, but you have to have some sort of guidelines. And I think that the plan of action, it gives us that guidelines to go through for me and that coach. And not to say that you can't stem away from it for a little bit, but if you don't have it, then you're always deemed to fail.